welcome to my channel. As you can see from the light, it's not fully sunshiny here yet, but it's light enough that I can come out here and talk to you. I thought we would do us a check-in, see how everybody's weekend went for our Back to the Beginning challenge. Now, I'm going to tell you about mine. We're rolling into the home stretch. This is our last full week, and it ends actually Sunday. Sunday's the 31st. Boy, next weekend's going to be a roller coaster of food, let me just tell you. Anyway, let me tell you about this weekend. So you know I saved the bulk of my points for the weekend. So if there's a treat, something we want to eat out, I would rather spend my points on that as I would stuff during the week. I want to save it for something special. Well, David, he's been hankering for some donuts for a long time. Krispy Kreme, because you know that's what we was raised on around here. Good old hot Krispy Kreme that just melts in your mouth. You don't even have to chew it. You just, like a snowflake. You know how you stick your tongue out and get a snowflake? That's what a hot Krispy Kreme does. Anyway, they had their spell book of donuts for Halloween. I'm going to insert a picture. I'll decorate it up for the Halloween. You know I'm a sucker for Halloween, and I'm a sucker for bright colors. Me and Holly, every time we would go shopping, the bright shiny things catch our attention. If it sticks out, you know, it's got us. Well, I needed the donuts, and I was talking to Joan, and she said, well, just one. I'm like, well, I can't, you know, and I don't think so. She goes, well, two. I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, I can do two. Because there's four, well, actually there was 3 different kinds in the box, but 4 different decorations. And I knew I would have to try at least 2 of them. And you know I'm saving the box to cut up and put in my Halloween journal. That's part of the reason I needed the box, but I needed the donuts because of the holiday. And they do all kind of holiday donuts, but obviously I needed Halloween. And I thought, well, next weekend's the party, so this weekend will be the weekend to get them. So I went on out early Saturday. Probably, well, I know it was before lunchtime because it's over at the big mall, and I didn't want to be over at the big mall on a Saturday night, especially trying to get donuts. It would be a madhouse. So I went ahead and ordered them online, paid for them and everything. When you order online, you have to get out and go in to get them. You can't drive through. So anyway, like you care. Hold on, look, I'm drinking from my new coffee cup from Donna Howarth. Isn't that pretty? And inside over here, you can't see it. Back there it says life's a hoot. Life is a hoot. So I get them donuts. I get home. I set them donuts on the counter. You don't know how bad I wanted a donut as soon as I got home. I mean, they're fresh, hot off the assembly line. The hot sign was on. I bought one of the spell books, and then you get another scary dozen for $1. You don't pass up $1 for a dozen donuts. The only scary part about it was the one in the middle was decorated with green, orange glaze and sprinkles. So I had both of them boxes of donuts sitting on the counter. Now, let me tell you, in the past, I would have had probably 2. David would have come in from working outside and probably had him a couple. And then we'd eat on them the rest of the day. We'd eat on them the next day until they were gone. Now, I'm just being honest with you. Donuts do that to us. Well, they sit there all day. I mean, all day. And I don't remember what time it was. Joan messaged me. She said, how are the donuts? I'm like, hadn't had them yet. You know, I told her how I got them early. And plus, they run out of stuff. I've got there before. They were out of practically everything we wanted. Anyway, I said, I hadn't eaten them. I saved them for tonight. So, you come around. Well, yeah, that was Saturday, because yesterday, I tell you about yesterday. Did I cook Saturday? I cooked something Saturday. Oh, bean tostadas. Listen. I made them with the corn tortillas that I can have on Simply Feeling, and I baked them in the oven. And my thought process was, since they're kind of thin, I wanted to do a double decker put some refried beans in between the two and sandwiched them together. They were so rolled up and misshapen. We ate our tostadas with a fork, let me put it that way. So anyway, that's how I knew I could afford the donuts points wise, because I was cooking and we would find something, doable on Sunday when we were going to eat out. So I had one donut, I ate it with a knife and a fork, enjoyed it. Then I went back a little bit later, had my second donut. I'm going to tell you what, when you're used to eating sugar all the time, super sweet things are not super sweet to you. So the donuts were just donuts, and they're delicious, but they were so sweet. I just couldn't believe it. I mean, they were like, I can't even describe to you how sweet they were. It was just like, I think I told John, this is pure sugar blobs. After I had my two, I had, I think a witch's broom, the witch's broom, and the black cat, the Abracadabra. That was what they named it. So, oh my, if that was a thing popped up, if it's loud, I will have to put it down. I couldn't eat another donut if you forced it down my throat. And in the old days, I'm telling you, we would keep going back and eating until they were gone. 2 dozen, all right? Listen, ain't no sense to lie about it. Me and my best friend, we worked together. We worked together at 2 different offices. And we would get donuts, or we would get, this or that. We eat out a lot, me and him. And one time, we had donuts, and he said, do you want another donut? And I just, off the top of my head, I'm like, do you think I got a body like this on one donut? Till the day he died, he never forgot that. Anytime we would want a seconds on something, he said, you think I got this body on one, whatever it was? So do you think I got this body on one donut? No, I did not. I got this body on mini donuts and little Debbie cakes and you name it. So anyway, the sweetness of those donuts did me in. Never mind the fact that I had put in a resolve in my mind I was going to have 2 donuts and I was not going to have another one. Well, I told Holly the day before, I said, I'm going to get donuts and you're going to have to come get them. She said, okay, yes. I sent her a picture so she'd see how cute they are. She's like, yes, Well, Saturday, she said they had, when I messaged her Saturday, that's when I got the donuts. She said, well, they were out and about all day. They had plans. I said, okay, well, you can come get them Sunday. She said, well, we got a wedding. We can come before that. Well, they didn't make it. They went to the wedding. It must have been one of them weddings with the big long reception and everything. She didn't make it. So those donuts sat at my house for 2 days. 2 days. And I did not touch another one. Didn't so much as sniff one. Didn't even think about it. I'm just like, nope. I'm not eating that donut. It is not worth it. I'm not doing it. And I didn't. And I was so proud. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm just telling you, from the person I used to be to whoever I was this weekend is such a big leap. And I'm so proud of myself. I am so proud of myself that I was able to actually do that and to accomplish that. That was a major, major feat on my part. And she didn't come last night, so when I got up this morning, I was up before 3 o'clock. I went in there to mess around in the kitchen. I went ahead and put because David ate some more donuts. I said, if you want them, you better eat them, because it's going to be a long, long time before we ever get any more. So he had him a few more. He likes the plain old glazed. Well, there's a couple flavors he likes, but he loves the plain old glazed ones. So I condensed them down into one box, and I put that box in the freezer. I'm going to pull them out for the Halloween party. That's right. You can freeze donuts. You can freeze about anything. So those donuts have been put in my freezer, and that is where they will stay until next Saturday. Now, let me tell you about Sunday. So I had it figured up to where I think my donuts, one was 11 points and one was 15 points. I kid you not. I kid you not. So there went 26 of my points, and I had 40 some. It was either 39 to 40 something for the weekend after I calculated my week. I think it's what it was. Anyway, I did my meal prep Saturday, and since I've been doing it on Saturday, I ate my meal prep on Sunday, my breakfast and my lunch. And that's one of my 4 days. Well, David had come in, he'd been working in the building, cleaning up. He got the transmission put in the Honda, so he got it running, got it inspected and everything, so he was cleaning up his mess. Because, when you work on stuff, you just put stuff here, put stuff there anyway. So he had come in to get him a bite to eat, and he was sitting over there. I'm like, you know what? I'm hungry too. So I went over there, not even thinking that I had that soup in the refrigerator. I got the very last Atkins frozen dinner that I had on hand for when I was doing low carb. I kept some in the freezer for those times when I didn't have anything to eat, or, I just needed something in a pinch. I went over there, sat down, started eating it. I didn't know how many points. I didn't think it could be too many, but I wasn't sure. I know you check before you eat, but I was going to eat it anyway because I was hungry and I needed something to eat. And Doofus forgot she had soup for 1 point in the refrigerator. So I was sitting there, and there's like this much food in that. I'll give it that much. There's about that much food in that little container. And I was sitting there, and I started eating it, and I said, well, let me go ahead and look it up so I can track it. 9 points. 9 points for that little dab of, when I say little dab of food, I mean little dab of food. So I put it in, I tracked it, that calculated me up. I took, it was our eating out day too. Sunday was our eating out day. I took Monday and Tuesday off the points of what I had left, and that left me with, what did I say? Did I say 5 or 7? I think maybe it was either 5 or 7 points. I done forgot now. So we were sitting over there. I'm like, well, that lets us out of a lot of eating out, because even though there's a lot of foods on Simply Feeling, you don't really get just a lot of whole foods out at restaurants. You get a lot of mixed foods. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of high point foods. Even when you get salads, they're high point. So I started scrolling the app, looking at this restaurant and that restaurant, and I couldn't find nothing. So I'm like, well, Chipotle it is. So on Simply Feeling, I think even on Purple, because you can get brown rice for $0, and they have brown rice. Well, yeah, if you get chicken, you can get it for $0. So you just build your burrito bowl, and Chipotle, now you get sick of it if you eat it a lot. We've eaten it a bit on low carb and on Simply Feeling. We've had it a couple times, but it's still good. But I was determined. We kept saying, well, we could get this. Well, no, I don't want to go over my points. So there again, I was determined that I only had the 5 or the 7 points. I was not going to go over. Listen, after eating them donuts and being so strong, I was not going to allow anything else to derail me. And I'm going to tell you what, if I don't clock in a weight loss this week, I'm going to be mad for all my for all my hard work this weekend. Listen, I got today and Tuesday and Wednesday to make sure that I have a loss. So I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to come on here salty. I'm going to be salty. So I got my Chipotle for 0 points, and here I have still got my 5 or 7, how many ever it is, for Monday and Tuesday. Fat chance I'm going to use them, because there's nothing I can think of that I want outside of what I've already got planned to eat. So I think I had a very successful weekend. I hope you had a successful weekend. Let me know down in the description box. How did you do? Were you able to say no? Were you able to stick to your plan? Let me tell you this too, and then we're going to go. So, we go to the Ollie's yesterday, if y'all watched my haul. Well, we walking around, and I always push the buggy because I need something to lean on, and David walks behind me, which if y'all know me, y'all know I can't stand nobody behind me, but at the store it's different. If you're walking up behind me at the house, I stick my leg back and put that buffer on. The kids pick on me. Because I'm like, sticking that leg back. I don't know, it just creeps me out, somebody being up on me. So we're walking around and Ollie's is playing all kind of music. Well, I looked over this way to look at something and I could see him in my peripheral. Okay, I think I got a squirrel acting up or something. Or tree limbs falling, sticks. Anyway, my peripheral vision, I could see him back there. He was just a boogie in the corner. I turned around and started laughing at him. He don't care. I mean, I wasn't laughing at him. I was laughing at because it was just so funny. So that was what we did at Ollie's yesterday. And on our way, I'm going to tell you what, on our way home, speaking of doing good, we had just talked about one at Subway. And I think I'm going to put that on my menu to eat out. I know that sounds like a crazy thing to eat out for a treat, but to me, a good old Subway, and I want the mayonnaise, and I want the oil and the vinegar, and I want to heat it up and get it. Oh gosh, there's something about Subway that we love. So I'm going to put that on the menu for our treat, eating out, week after next. I've been working on my menu this morning and next week's too, because we're going to be gone next week and I don't want to be pushing. Well, no, I'll get gone one day. So we're leaving Ollie's and it's lunchtime, time to eat. He says, well, do you want a Subway? I'm like, well, yeah, I do, but no, because I had all them donuts. I don't have the points for Subway. He goes, okay, well, whatever you want to do. I'm like, well, I want one, but I can't do it. I just can't do it. He goes, okay, well, if you're going to stick to what you're sticking to, then we'll not get it. I'm like, okay, well, we're not going to get it. That's when we come on home to eat. Now I'm sitting here thinking that 9 points could have gone towards us. But that's okay. Then, oh, and we were talking last night, maybe Subway. Yeah, because it'll be enough points. We were talking last night. He says, what do you want to get, some steaks? I said, and do what with them? He said, grill them out. I'm like, well, and my favorite steak is a ribeye. That's, if I'm going to eat a steak, I'm not wasting my taste buds and belly space on anything but a ribeye, because then I'm just eating meat. And I'm not enjoying it, because that's not my favorite steak. And lean steaks, if I had a strip steak, I could have that for 0 points on Simply Feeling. But like I said, I'm not wasting my space on a strip steak. I want a good old juicy ribeye. Well, it is pointed. So I'm like, well, I don't even have the points for a ribeye. It was like 4 points for 3 ounces, and I'm here to tell you, I ain't eating a 3-ounce steak. No, sir. If I get a steak, I'm going to get a steak. Yes. So I am going to save my points for steak and Subway. And that should take care of pretty much all 49 probably. So that's all I know. We'll talk Thursday about what we're going to do this weekend, because if I talk to it about today, then we'll be all bored when I talk about it on Thursday. So we will talk about that then. So let me know below how you did. I hope you have a good rest of this week. Just remember, you're coming in the home stretch. If you have veered off the path this rest of the month, bring it in this week. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Just dig your heels in. Get that resolve in your mind, and I know you can do it. I don't care if you hadn't done it up until now. You give it your best. You give it your best. That's the best you can do. The best you can do. So, all right. I'm going to head in the house and finish my coffee, and I will see you for Tag Tuesday tomorrow for our final Halloween installment. So, see you then.